Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Marijuana on the team plane? Are you kidding me? You can't believe everything you read, right? Especially if it comes from, I guess I'd term as an old friend in Mike Florio, who always seems to have a little grudge here against Duval. He's kind of in the Jason La Canfora, and there's plenty of them out there that, for one reason or another, don't know what it is. Maybe they visited here and someone went wee-wee in their Cheerios. I don't know. But, can we really believe that? I've traveled on that team plane for years. And I laugh at it. The risk involved in something like that. These are merely allegations. We'll see. Obviously, a thorough investigation is got to be underway on the heels of what has occurred here with former Jaguar player Brandon McManus. What becomes worrisome is if other players are involved, and if players who are currently on this roster are involved. If they're players that are no longer here, then it's a mess. It's a bad story. It's something you don't want out there, right? The Jaguars, and at least they're relevant again. I'm going to get into a Cam Robinson story today. I'm going to get into a Trevor Lawrence story today. We're going to talk to Dave Campo in 30 minutes about what we witnessed this past Tuesday out at the Miller Electric Center. But it just feels like the national stories that pop up again. It's like, oh, yeah, that's Jacksonville. Someone in their organization runs off with $22 million. The completely uninformed members of the national media and their comments on the money that is needed for a massive facelift with the stadium. And I hate to reference La Canfora, but he's such a target, right? He's so easy to pick on. Jason La Canfora had to be one of those guys who wasn't smart enough after the 9th consecutive day of getting the tar beaten out of him walking to school that he didn't change his route, because where he comes from, it's called route, not a route. But La Canfora, of course, when he doubled down a few weeks ago, said he loved the sketches of the new practice facility here in Jacksonville. Again, simple, real easy. Just Google it. You'll see year 2, Miller Electric Center, the best facility in all sports. But anyway, that is that. I find it hard to believe that a professional football player would do something like that. You know what it's like to be in a plane. I will say this, though, okay? I was out golfing recently, and this is not someone in athletics. It's a buddy of mine who is in another profession. And let's just say he loves the herb. I can't imagine smoking dope playing golf. I think some out there do it. I just can't put myself in that category, to wonder what that would actually do to my brain, what that would do to my mind as I'm trying to, line up my next shot. As I've always said, I love the smell of marijuana, but I don't do dope because it makes me paranoid. The only time that I do it is, if I'm so deep into the booze and it's just been a crazy day and night, and okay, maybe then. So it's very rare for me. But I'm playing with this guy, and he's smoking this vape, and you can't smell anything. And he's like, yeah, man, THC, man. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I can't smell the marijuana. So I know there's different types of what do you call it, JJ? What am I looking for? Strands? Is that the proper terminology?
Yeah, I love how you're playing dumb with that.
Hey, that first break, meet me out at meet me out in the parking lot, right?
I got a strand for you.
I got an ashtray that's just full of them. And we talk about the differences and how, a lot of today's marijuana is just ridiculous. You take a hit and you're temporarily insane. It's not like the old days where you used to have to smoke,
Stems and seeds.
Well, yeah, you had to smoke like 6 joints. You're like, hey, did you get a buzz? And I was like at Florida State and stuff. Yeah, I think I caught a little one there. I mean, today it's like one hit, and you're not there. But so I guess the newest thing, and if it's been around for a long time, again, I apologize. This is not my bread and butter, but I'm playing, and I'm smoking a cigar. Okay, I've been smoking those Olivas, which I really like. I mean, they're a little bold on the golf course. By the way, if you know the perfect cigar for a golf course, please let me know, because I love a bold cigar at the beach. I love a bold cigar when I'm barbecuing in my backyard. And on the golf course, I would like it to be a little bit lighter. Those are the only times I smoke cigars. Okay, I'm not like our fallen friend David Lamb, who passed last Friday, who smoked cigars forever but then chewed on them. I can go a long period of time. During football season, I almost never smoke cigars because I'm never playing golf, and if I am, it's on a Tuesday, an off day, and I'm not partying on a Tuesday because I'm coming in here to work, right? The beach is out during football season. Maybe rarely after a Jags game when I get back to the crib at night, if there's not a great late 4 o'clock game going on or an 8 o'clock game, maybe I'll do some barbecuing then and fire one up. But I am looking for a lighter cigar for the golf course. If you have that, please let me know. 641-1010 on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Maybe we'll sample them here live on air.
Please, I would love that.
Do you think we could do that here? And do you think that ruffles some feathers?
A humidor? Make it a humidor?
Yeah.
My theory on the whole marijuana on the plane thing, as an expert, there's no way. I wouldn't say no way, but I find it really hard to believe that these players had the cojones to be actually smoking like flower marijuana on the plane. To me,
I don't believe
it's like
it
they're probably hitting vapes. I could see that. I could definitely see football players on the way back or to London. It's 10 hours, taking gummies or hitting their little vape or whatever. But there's no way that she smelled marijuana. I find that very hard to believe. But do I think guys are getting high on the plane? Yeah. On every NFL plane, probably.
There's no special privilege when you travel to London. You're going through customs like everyone else does who travels abroad. All right, when you travel with the team, because I did it for 8 years, they pick you up on a bus, they escort you to the tarmac, you go through security there. On the tarmac, you walk up onto the plane, they take you to the city you're going to here in the United States. You land, same deal. Bus is waiting for you on a tarmac, and you get a police escort to the hotel. After the game, they do interviews, get all showered up, cleaned up. It's probably 90 minutes after a game. You get a police escort to the tarmac. All right, let's say we're in Baltimore. You go through security there. You fly home. And they bus you back to the stadium, and then you drive home. I mean, you can play in places like Baltimore and stuff. You can be home at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. It's incredible. You'd be shocked at how fast things actually work. The Jaguars do a wonderful job, logistically speaking. But when you go to London, and that's kind of a sidebar story, you would think that with Shad Khan and all his efforting, trying to get people involved with London, you think he'd at least be able to get a police escort. No, you're right in rush hour traffic. Usually when we get there, it's early in the morning. It's 7:30, 8 in the morning. And, man, you're in the midst of gridlock trying to get out of the airport there to the hotel. So there are no preferential treatment for the Jaguars, unless that has changed over the last couple of years. That may have. Okay? I was on the Gus Bradley flights, the Doug Marrone flights. I can go back to the Tom Coughlin flights when I was on the ball. Never went to London then. When Urban got here, Urban had us travel, we weren't allowed on the team plane because Urban had like 12 girls sitting in our seats where the Jaguars radio broadcast team was. But I find it hard to believe that you're going to try to smuggle dope through customs.
It's not that.
Is it not that hard?
No, weed would be dumb. But I'm saying like their little pens or whatever. Hell yeah, they're bringing that on the plane, bro. That no questions asked.
Okay.
That's a nothing thing.
All right.
So, like I said,
I've never had the kahunas to do anything like that.
Well, yeah, if you don't smoke, why would you?
Maybe leave something in your golf bag and just ship it. But then if you're shipping it underneath, you can't smoke it.
On the plane, exactly.
Right, and the average
has to be like your carry-on.
So you think an average Joe six-pack is doing that in a plane?
I know. Oh, no. But if I'm a football player and it's like a team plane and we're in the bathroom or whatever, yes. And have I seen like regular Joes do stupid stuff like that? Absolutely. So like if it's your own plane, you guys are drinking, you're partying, whatever, like nobody's going to tell me that they're not having fun on those team planes. I'm sorry. So yeah, I believe that. Do I think it's like a huge crime? No, I don't care about it at all. Like,
no. Well, that's a different story. I mean, it's
to me the bad
safer
thing
than alcohol.
Yeah, to me the bad thing obviously is the groping of the flight attendants.
Yeah. Well, that is that is something I don't know much about. I just find it hard to believe that.
Me too.
If marijuana was used to the point where you could smell it, I'm calling a foul there.
I agree.
I don't think they would disrespect Doug Peterson and the Jaguars to that extent that they would do that. And
or risk that.
Just my thought. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're a star, you're risking your reputation. If you're a guy that's on the bottom half of the 53 or a practice squad, you're risking being cut immediately. I mean, just think about that. What that story would be. It doesn't mean much because I've always looked at it this way, and I've seen this forever, including my upbringing in Boston, where guys get beer muscles and want to fight everyone when they get drunk. To my days when I was tending bar, alcohol can really make people mean, right? You don't hear about a lot of fights that are brought up with marijuana, right? It's more of kind of a mellow, little bit subdued, depending on what's going on. Alcohol and bar all the time fights. Marijuana, not necessarily the case. Now, I understand that you can mix them both and you can be on them both, and in any way, but it just seems like marijuana is really acceptable nowadays,
especially in the NFL. I mean,
Yeah.
These guys are taking an absolute beating on their body, and they used to just feed them pills.
Yeah.
And we know what that is. We've seen people in our own lives who have gone down a dark road because of painkillers. And then, you see Junior Seau, like so many former players have had their lives ruined because of these drugs that they were addicted to because of their football career. So if this is like an alternative to that, I'm all for it. But not on the plane.
I'm going to give you one tiny cliff note out of respect for what I've seen, even though the statute of limitations have gone by decades ago. But things have changed immensely as far as rehabilitation, as far as immediate post-game treatment. All right? When I traveled, when I was on the ball, on the Coughlin flights, medication and what have you was distributed on the plane, on the ride home. You will never see anything like that anymore. Those days are gone. Now, I'm talking about 97, 98, when I witnessed stuff like that. Here, now,
Thank God for that.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen anymore. I mean, you've seen that totally change right in front of our eyes. And that's not only a Jacksonville thing. That's a league-wide thing. Obviously, teams did it, and someone said something at one point and say, hey, guys, let's do a better job. Let's get this taken care of in privacy, not out there. Because the team plane will carry sponsors. The team plane will carry others, staff members, or what have you. And you always have to worry that someone's going to see something and, in fact, say something. This might be the only time I've actually mentioned this. And, again, I'm going back to 97, 98 when I actually did see that. And, again, there's many other things that I did, but I'm just going to leave it alone. And I wouldn't say anything about what I've seen recently on Jaguar team flights. There is some amusement there. Okay, there was some pretty neat things. I could fill up 2 hours worth of the ultimate turd in this organization, the life and times of Jared Odrick. I'd love to get into that, but I won't. And what's that going to do? Okay, he's a turd. I know he's a turd. There's really no need to bring up some of his antics as to what happened years ago. But anyway, I'm calling no way here. And we'll see. The investigation is underway. To have Doug Peterson tell us 2 days ago he had no idea as to what is going on, I believe Doug Peterson here. I know every team flight is different. Okay. The Coughlin team flight, you lost the game, man. You didn't hear a peep. Okay, you didn't. No one met. Folks were scared to cough. Folks were scared to sneeze. That wasn't the case during the Gus Bradley era. Well, hell, they lost every game they played. Doug Marone. So everything's changed, right? But there's still a respect factor. So I don't believe it. And
what is the seating situation like? It's double-deckered, right? Like the media sits up top, or
no, we're at the back of the plane.
Oh, so it's just the back and the front. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
the
back. Players are with the coaches, though. I just want to get like a picture in my head of what a team plane, like where's everyone sitting? Are they walking around? It's a 10-hour flight. I'm assuming everyone's moving and.
Yeah, it was a different combination depending on the Gus flight and the Marone flight,
right.
But it's players and coaches, and then it's staff. I mean, you'd be surprised. Actually, I guess folks wouldn't. An NFL staff is enormous.
Is it?
I mean, you got
50.
You got 53 players, and you got the roster of your special your practice squad guys. Everyone travels, but you actually have more team employees.
More?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they travel to London?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, think about it. You've got the Jaguars probably have, 20 assistant coaches. They've got the guys in the logistics, and I know them all. They're wonderful human beings. That's probably 6 guys.
They got my boy Max holding the camera.
Absolutely. You got everyone from the Jaguars Radio Network, Jaguars.com. You've got the equipment guys. You've got those that are involved in game day operations that are, you see them, gathered around the team bench, providing water and whatever it may be. I don't know what their official title is.
So are they sitting in a separate section than the players? Like, is it like roped off like first class?
Honestly, I don't know because there's a curtain that's often
separating you guys
yes.
from them? Okay.
So we don't see and therefore don't talk. Now, there were times I did, but again, I'm going to respect what I once was a part of. And again, I'm not trying to damage anything here. Analytics, that staff, you could have part of your scouting staff. I mean, your technology staff. There's so many positions, so many things that I'm not even aware of. Team doctors, all right? Athletic trainers. You bring over counselors. You bring over chiropractors. You bring over, you name it. So there are far more regular team employees than there are actually Jaguar players on a team plane. My guess is the team plane, 250 people.
Yeah, so it would be easy for the coach to have no idea.
Oh, no doubt. This isn't an example of, hey, he's lost control.
Right.
This is, if it did happen, if it did happen, which I don't believe it did, it's an example of 1 or 2 guys being knuckleheads,
right,
sneaking off, trying to get away with it.
Okay, because when I didn't realize it was that many people. So when I just heard, him say, like, I didn't know about it. I was like, I sort of believe him, but I don't know. But now that you say that, I realize it's pretty easy to be the bad kids in the back of the bus.
Yeah, and that's what it is. This isn't an indictment of, anyone in the organization. It's instead, if it did happen, which I believe it did not, it's an example of a player or two going totally rogue. And frankly, it's embarrassing to all that are involved. We'll just see what comes out of this with Brandon McManus and, hitting $100 bills, telling him to meet at a party. I almost thought it was a story that would kind of just go away, and maybe it will. I really have a tough time believing that there is a witch hunt going on with this. I think due diligence is important. I think a thorough investigation is happening. I don't know if the Jaguars have conducted their own internal investigation. Is the National Football League out in trying to do something like this? But this is a story that you want to end. This is a story that you want swept under the rug because it's not good. And anyway, I thought it was intriguing today to see the latest piece that Florio had. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
It's got all the things that the national media would love.
Mm-hmm.
You get to hate on the Jags. It's got, like, drugs, alcohol, sex, the NFL.
No.
It's everything, so it's got, obviously not to this degree, but it's got, like, Viking sex boat vibes. Not anywhere close to that, but that story was just so funny. People love talking about it, so I could see this one lingering for a bit.
The situation involved with Brandon McManus, whenever we hear stories like this, I think the assumption by so many is guilty until you prove your innocence. And this happens every single time you hear about sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape. Doesn't matter what the situation is. It just, I think so many with their brain immediately look at it that way. There's never the other side of a quick money grab. I thought it was interesting that these flight attendants hired the same lawyer, the Busby guy, that was deeply involved in all of the Deshaun Watson, those masseurs, those countless nameless, faceless masseurs all across the country that ended up getting a ton of money after what they said that was involved with Deshaun Watson. So when you hire that type of lawyer, the other side is, hey, this is a money grab. Was something inappropriate said? I don't know. Did it get to the point where it was really over the line? Touching, feeling? I don't know. I have no clue. But will it play itself out? A lot of times when stuff like this happens, his story goes away. You know what happens? A payment's made. And it's buried. Right? When things go away, it's buried. Look at the Scotty Scheffler story earlier this week. Once the cops came out and said, hey, listen, we really screwed this up. We embarrassed the entire city of Louisville, from the mayor to the police chief, all the way down. We should have just dropped the charges anyway. The story would have gone away. Right? Instead, they did what they did, tried to double down, dragged it out, and really embarrassed themselves. If he's truly innocent, then it becomes a battle back and forth that typically ends up in court, and you fight for your name back. Hey, Trevor Bauer did that. He ended up being not guilty on all of these charges, yet Major League Baseball right now is saying, you have a number one, you have an ace. But because of the reputation that's been tarnished, you can't find one team in Major League Baseball that is willing to bring him on, even for the league minimum. And again, he was found not guilty on each and every charge. Just let that one sit. So it's perception. We'll see. I hope nothing bad happens. And obviously McManus is no longer here. If any other player is involved, which I hope is not the case, I hope it's a guy that's not here any longer. So we'll keep you updated. That's a story that unfortunately is going to stick around for a little bit. Dave Campo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready to bring him on. He is the former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Enjoyed watching practice with him this past Tuesday. He's coming up in just a couple of moments. I will tell you that opening comments are brought to you by Shmunez Vision. I'd like to tell you that my eyes are the same after smoking marijuana, but I don't do it. So I can't answer that question for you. But, hey, maybe that's a good question for Dr. Neil Shmunez and his staff. Do your eyes, they get red, right? But do you see worse? Are you nearsighted? Are you farsighted? Any type of question that you can ask. He's there, and he'll talk to you about, it's so interesting, especially when it comes to surgery, because you go to a lot of these big conglomerates, right? These big name companies that work in your eyes, and you're like, yeah, you need surgery. But instead of the doctor taking time out of their day to explain to you what you need and how you need it, they're going to say, oh, no, get with my coordinator. They'll explain. Well, I don't want to hear from a coordinator. I want to hear from the individual that is going to perform surgery on my eye. 8.5 years ago, when Dr. Neil Shmunez told me I needed surgery on my right, he didn't say, all right, go down there, take 2 lefts and a right, and there's a coordinator. They're going to tell you. No, he told me about the surgery. I mean, just ask yourself, does your eye doctor do things like that? This is a small part of their repertoire, okay? It's why they're the best in Jacksonville. Shmunez Vision. Check them out online. That's Shmunez Vision. You can also get a ton of testimonials by going to them on Instagram at Shmunez Vision as well. Dave Campo joins JJ and Rick Ballou. He's coming up next.
Hi, I'm Troy Aikman.
I'm John Fox.
This is Heisman Trophy winner Gino Torretta on 1010XL.
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 92.5 FM.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more, all at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Attention veterans, if you have a VA loan, you need to listen to this, especially if your current rate is higher than 6.5%. Now is the time to take advantage of the federal government's VA Streamlined Refinance Program. With my friends at Loan Pronto, you can. Go to loanpronto.com. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto has fixed rate APRs in the 5s. You can drop your rate now. Lower your payment with no income documentation and no appraisal. Do it at loanpronto.com. Their all-digital platform makes it easy. They can even cover your closing costs. If you need cash now, Loan Pronto can get you up to 100% of your home value. You can pay off all your credit cards or other debt and save as much as $1,000 a month. Call Loan Pronto now at 904-999-1508 or get a 30-second rate quote at loanpronto.com. Ask about streamlined VA loans, no income doc, and no appraisal. Loan Pronto, 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
I'm Hacker. Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Let's go! And happy Halloween in June. Come cheer your Jacksonville Sharks on to victory as they fight against the Arizona Rattlers this Saturday, June 1st, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find any Saturdays with more family affordable fun. It's for everyone. Dig out your best costumes for Halloween night. It's always one of the faves. Whoever has the best costume will go home with a prize. Venture into the Scare Zone, featuring 13th Floor Haunted House. And join us post-game on the field for an autograph session. Don't miss the game. This Saturday, June 1st, it's Halloween in June at the Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. Get ready for Fright Night. Let's go.
Hey, David here with Royal Pest Services. Men, are you struggling in the bedroom? Do spiders and roaches have you scared? Visit RoyalPestServices.com and let us help you get that man card back. Guaranteed results on our first visit.
I'm Charlie P., and I lost 50 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. Two of my doctors, my general practitioner and my gastroenterologist, both sat me down and had a real heart-to-heart with me that I was not headed in the right direction and said that I need to lose weight. So that's why I thought, now it's time to talk to Awaken 180 because they're going to be the people that are going to be able to help me. And ultimately, my doctor was able to eliminate my diabetic medicine. So I'm off my diabetic medicine and I'm on such a small dosage of my blood pressure medicine that probably the next time I see him, I'll be able to remove that completely as well.
Thanks, Charlie. This is Mike Dempsey. Whether your goal with Awaken 180 is to eliminate medications, improve energy, or increase confidence, I know you'll achieve it with the solution for weight loss. Do what Charlie did, what Matt Hayes, Hacker, and I did. Make the call to Awaken 180 at 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in one of our favorites here, Dave Campo. You get him all over the place here on 1010XL and 92.5 FL. A long career in college and the NFL as a coach, including the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. He goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Hello, Dave.
Hey, Rick. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay, thank you. It was good to get out there on Tuesday and watch some of these new Jaguars get out there and give it some work at the Miller Electric Center.
Yeah, it was good. I think that, the OTAs, obviously, I'd like to see them all because I like being on the field. But it really gets the adrenaline going for the season because there's so many things that you're looking at and, guys trying to make the football team and showing what they can do. It really is a good start to the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm not going to throw any members of the media under the bus, but some don't like it. They think you don't get anything out of it. I totally disagree. I've always loved the off season, maybe even more than in season, because it just provides so much material to come back here and talk about. So I'm with you. I wish we could be out there every day.
Yeah, no question. But at the same time, obviously they've got a new scheme going in. There's a lot of new things happening, new players. I think they're smart in just opening it up for, once a week. And they're giving us enough looks to be able to say, hey, this looks a little different. This looks about the same. And I think that's really what you're getting out of it as far as a media person looking at it.
Right. And we respect their process about the scheme and not talking about starters and saying too much. But everyone is aware that they have made a massive change on the defensive side of the football field. It felt good to watch him work, all four defensive linemen with their hand in the dirt.
Yeah, and obviously I like that. I think it's going to be a plus for Trayvon Walker, especially, that he's going to be able to put his hand in the dirt more. I think leverage-wise and get off, I think that presents a little bit more of a problem for the tackle that's going to have to block him. I think that's a plus. And the one thing I did get out of it from the defensive line standpoint, watching the sled work, they have really improved, in my opinion, the power of the inside guys, the guys like Hamilton coming back, and they are stronger and more physical. The kid that really kind of surprised me a little bit, not surprised me, but I didn't know that much about him, was Jefferson. And really, the kid from LSU, he's got some power. So I think they've improved the overall rotation of the defensive line, which I think is extremely important, not only against the run, but also from a pass rush standpoint, keeping guys fresh going throughout the game.
Well, let's stay with this for a minute because, you and I watched the majority of practice together on Tuesday. We did separate for a while, and we joined up later. You mentioned this to me. I'm always honest with our listeners. I paid almost no attention to that. There's 90 guys out there, and you only have two eyes, and the reason why is they're not in pads. I didn't know that I could gauge all that much. But you did. So let's get into it a little bit. What did you notice that was different with Hamilton, and give us a minute on these young guys, including Jefferson and, of course, Mason Smith?
Well, first of all, let me start with Hamilton. Hamilton was a darn good, solid inside guy, nose tackle type of a guy, which, by the way, a nose tackle in a 3-4 and a 2 technique in a 4-3 is the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of those guys is a very physical, strong, powerful guy in that inside area. And he was really, I thought there was a reason they gave him that contract. And then last year, obviously, what he had was obviously a debilitating situation. And when he came back, we didn't see the best of him. But watching him on the field, just his explosion and how he came off the football on those sleds. Now, obviously, a sled's not another player. But at the same time, you can watch the power and the explosion. He showed that. Jefferson, same thing. Big physical guy that shows that explosion and power. Now, Mason Smith, he's a different cat because when you watch him there, they were doing a lot of stuff on attacking the sled, keeping the feet moving, and then getting off and going to make a tackle. And his foot quickness is, in my opinion, perfect for a 3 technique, which is the rushing inside tackle in a 4-man line. And so I'm impressed with all of those 3 guys, and that's without Harris, and that's without Armstead. So in my opinion, the inside position has been strengthened in just that alone. Now, how they play football, that's another matter. We're going to have to see that as they go through the training camp and all that kind of stuff. But if just the physical power is concerned with those inside tackles, and then you add Armstead, who has proven that he's a pass rusher, has the size to knock down passes and handle the run, I think there's been a great deal of improvement in there.
The Jaguars' next practice at the Miller Electric Center, where there's media accessibility, be coming up on Monday. Certainly look forward to that. We're kind of reliving what happened 2 days ago out at the Miller Electric Center. Dave Campo joining Rick Ballou. You know, I remember an earlier comment you made when I had you on a few months ago talking about how you thought the secondary, there'd be a lot of changes, that there'd be guys playing different roles. You didn't know at the time about the front four or the front seven. I know it's been so limited for you, Dave, but let's even get into the position change with Devin Lloyd now going to the Sam linebacker position. Is this group worthy of moving around a little bit in the front seven, or would you be cautious with that?
Well, first of all, you know, I don't look at Lloyd as a Sam. I look at Lloyd as a Willie, a weak side linebacker that's going to be covered down in base defense, and he's just one of the inside two guys in the 4-2-5 with a nickel back in there against the substitute situation. Here's my feeling, and this is, believe me, this is a lot of what I've heard. I know some guys that know Nielsen, the defensive coordinator, really well. They tell me that he is an outstanding teacher and communicator. And I think that was missing a year ago, 2 years ago. I see that as a real strength now, which in my opinion makes it okay for guys to be able to move as long as guys are doing a good job of teaching them. Mm-hmm. And Matt House, you know, everybody's on him about what happened at LSU. I don't even worry about him as a coordinator at LSU because the college game is completely different. But Andy Reid and I are close, and Andy said that House is an outstanding teacher. So when you put those things together, you know, and he was by the way, the reason I bring that up was he was a linebacker coach for Andy in Kansas City. Yep. So to me, that bodes well for them being able to move around position-wise as long as they understand the basics and the teaching part of it is there.
I know it's unfair because they haven't been popping pads yet, but they really didn't address another pass rusher not named Trevis Gibson. And Gibson was really good with Bill Shuey. They worked together in Chicago 4 years ago. He's been really absent since. Did you get anything there? Did you see anything with the rookie Miles Cole? Or, you know, I saw Yasir Abdul out there. He still looks very undersized to me. Did you see anything with another pass rusher?
Yeah, that's going to be a question. You know, to me, Gibson, you know, and again, you know, with my connection in the NFL, I know a lot of people that coached Gibson, and they all tell me that the guy can be an outstanding pass rusher, but he hasn't shown that. In the last 2 years, he's kind of struggled with it a little bit. But, you know, he is athletic and he is long. So that's okay in my mind at this point. You know, I would have thought that they would have maybe looked at, I think they still maybe might look at, you know, once you get closer to training camp or once you get into training camp, of maybe bringing in one of these older guys that have been around, that it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. Mm-hmm. But I think that, you know, Gibson is a good football player. Let me put it that way. I don't know if he's going to be a great pass rusher or not. The wild card for me, Rick, is that Armstead, in my opinion, is a little bit capable of being able to play outside or inside as far as the pass rush is concerned. So as far as keeping guys clean and that type of thing, you know, maybe they think that the combination of all those guys are going to be there. Abdullah, I don't know what he's going to do. He, in my opinion, is the Sam linebacker when they go to base defense. He's going to line up on the outside on the tight end. That's his role, although Muma's going to be the starter probably there. But he can work as a rush guy in just as a role player. So I'm not 100% sure exactly what that's going to be out there.
No wonder the Jaguars have yet to provide us a depth chart.
Well, it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. There won't be a depth chart.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's being looked at every position.
Yeah. Final one for you. Give us about 30 seconds. What did you see in the third-round pick, Jarian Jones?
I like him from the standpoint that he's extremely quick, and that for a nickel player, number one, is important because those slots give you something that's different than the outside guys. The quickness and the explosion, on the crossing routes and those kind of things. I like what I see there. I like his attitude. I like his ability to get excited about being out there. You can tell he likes to play football, and they had him on the outside some as well. So, I like what I see from a physical standpoint, but the problem is when you don't have pads on, you don't see what's going on. A lot of those DBs look pretty good to you athletically.
Yeah.
But to try to compare them to somebody else, that's kind of hard to do until you see them, really in action.
And we'll get that opportunity before you know it. It'll be here. Heck, it's almost June. We got one more day coming up tomorrow. Dave Campo, ladies and gentlemen. Dave, always a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it, Rick, and I look forward to visiting with you when we're on the field.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll see you out there on Monday. There he goes, Dave Campo. Always good stuff from him. Interesting. So he thinks that it's going to be Lloyd working on the weak side, which is a non-tight end side, and it's going to be Abdullah or Muma at the strong side, the Sam. He's connected. I've heard the exact opposite. I've heard that Lloyd is going to be the Sam. And again, they haven't provided a depth chart, and they don't have to, but it remains a little bit of a guessing game. Dave Campo knows so much about football, so much about defense. He could be incredibly thorough about the changes here. But just football 101, the two technique is when the defensive lineman is facing the guard on the inside shoulder, right? And you heard him basically describe Devon Hamilton in a two technique is kind of like in a 3-4 being a nose guard. The three technique is something you hear an awful lot about. That is when the defender lines up on the guard's outside shoulder between the guard and the tackle. So, and again, that's football 101, right? As you watch football across the league, nothing is true to the blueprint, if you will. Guys maneuver and, the hybrids that they play and what have you. And it doesn't mean that you're rushing. I mean, you can stunt, you can do all sorts of different things. But I'm just talking about the lining up process, and it's going to be a different look for you. And I think it should be one that is encouraging for you as a Jaguars fan. Reaction to that, by all means, 641-1010 on our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Let me check the text line. Looking for a mild cigar. That's what I am for my golf game. Your recommendation is absolutely appreciated if you get that opportunity. Again, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
1010XL salutes David Lamb, a true pioneer in sports radio in Jacksonville and an authentic sports icon to so many here. We'll miss you, David. Rest in peace.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
I joke around and with my wife and call it my bionic knee.
But before Ernest became a patient with QC Kinetics, it was a different story.
I'd go to bed with my knee throbbing, heat, ice. I would get up in the middle of the night to get a drink or something, and I would just be hobbling.
He wasn't able to play on his rec basketball team or work in the yard. But QC Kinetics regenerative treatments turned around the situation without surgery or downtime, using Ernest's own healing properties to help restore his aching knee, now known as Ernest's Analyst's bionic knee.
I am really happy because I am playing the game that I love so much, and I'm playing with my granddaughter, and I'm gardening, and I'm on my knees, and I'm jumping up. I have a 200-pound dog, and I'm playing with my dog.
Now Ernest is living his best life thanks to QC Kinetics, and so can you. Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
It's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker, card games, and hospitality. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with poker games of all limits and easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. And it's not just poker. With delicious dining, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com and ante up for fun.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Old City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On May 30th, 1927, pitcher Walter Johnson records his 110th and final shutout of his Baseball Hall of Fame career, the most in MLB history.
What's spelled funny but smells great? A Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. Kuhn Flowers. The name is synonymous with excellence for over 75 years. High-flying Jacko here for your next floral purchase. Call on Kuhn Flowers.
I-9 Sports is fired up for their summer flag football tournament series, so make sure your team is part of the action. It's all happening in June and July at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows at their brand new turf facility. Register as a team and join the fun at i9sports.com.
Why is it important not to spit out watermelon seeds? Answer next.
When you call Southern Oak and file a claim, you'll be handled by our hand-picked vendors who will analyze any roof, storm, or water damage. It'll save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Watermelon seeds contain a tremendous source of power. They're rich in vitamins, protein, zeta-3, zinc, and fatty acids.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is Hayes Carline for SkyLife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at SkyLife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. SkyLife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332, go to flyskylife.com, and find them on social media. Fly SkyLife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Time now for a medical recap. A health and wellness tip from Jaguars head team physician, Dr. Kevin Kaplan.
Strength and resistance training are some of the best forms of exercise you can do to strengthen your muscles and improve your body composition. It may also lead to important improvements in metabolic health, meaning your blood sugar levels are easier to manage, and it also increases how many calories you burn at rest. The Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans recommends resistance training twice per week in addition to cardio training. Let's get fit, Jacksonville.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
At Duck Duck Air Conditioning, we understand the importance of having a properly functioning air conditioning system, especially in hot and humid climates like Florida. That's why we offer a wide range of services including installation, repair, maintenance, and replacement of all types of air conditioning systems. The Duck Duck Air Conditioning team is available 24/7, so you can count on us to be there when you need us the most. Contact us today to schedule your service and experience the Duck Duck difference. 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
New York City. Anything happened today in New York?
Maybe a Mets game? I'm not sure.
Anything at all? Game 5 coming up tonight. New York's Madison Square Garden. 2 apiece. The Rangers and the Florida Panthers. The puck will drop at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Looking forward to it. Last night, what a crazy game, man. Dallas on the road got up 2-0 early. 2 goals in the first, 7, 8, 9 minutes. Then all of a sudden, Edmonton evens it. After 20 minutes of play, they went on to score 5 goals total. So Edmonton evens up that series at 2 games apiece. A 5-2 victory last night over the Dallas Stars. Also, the NBA Finals begins 1 week from tonight. Dallas can close out Minnesota. That'll be at 8:30 on TNT tonight. Minnesota favored by 4.5 points. The Mavericks up 3-1 in the best of 7 there. Can Minnesota win this game and make it a series? You think
Absolutely.
You think Dallas closes them out tonight?
I think Minnesota wins. I think this one's going to at least go one more, and I'm praying that it does so I have some basketball to watch this weekend, and we don't have to wait a whole week. But, yeah, Anthony Edwards has not had one of those, insane dominant performances that he had earlier in the playoffs that had everyone comparing him to Michael Jordan yet in this series. So I still think that game's going to come. I think it'll be tonight, and I think they'll extend it one more game.
162 games in baseball. We saw what happened to those teams that had the best record last year, 100-plus wins or what have you, and they had a bye, had some days off, and they all lost. It'd be interesting to see how Boston handles game 1 at home. Boston's such a good road team. They're above average at home, but they're a really good road team. They can have 9 days off before they play that game.
And like hockey, home court advantage has really not meant anything in the NBA recently, going back even a few years. So, yeah, Boston doesn't play good at home particularly. I don't know if that's just the pressure on them or I don't know what it is. But, yeah, I don't even think about home field anymore in this sport. It's not as bad as hockey, but, yeah, it doesn't seem like you have that big of an advantage anymore. I don't know why.
A couple of nuggets in baseball. Paul Skeens today, another victory. Goes to 2-0, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. Walked the batter, struck out 9, 96 pitches. He has been an absolute monster since he has been called up. I know you watched most of last night's work. What did you make out of Braves' highly touted prospect, Spencer Schwellenbach?
He looked good. He got sort of, I wouldn't say hit around in this last inning, but he gave up a 3-run homer, which sucks. But besides that, he really didn't give up anything. His stuff looks really good. He's got a great breaking ball, a really good fastball. I think this kid's going to be here for a minute. It doesn't seem like a guy who they're just bringing up for a spot start or two. I think that he has the potential to maybe stay on the team the rest of the season. Just really left one up there with 2 guys on base when he got really unlucky with an error early in the game. A guy on third with no outs ended up getting out of the inning with no runs scored. So I think he's good. I'm excited.
We talked about Justin Verlander, came into last night with 260 career wins. The guy goes 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. It was a home run, struck out 9, and doesn't figure in the decision. He can't get run support from his team, and Houston won earlier today, but, I mean, Houston's struggling, 24 and
Last
32.
in that game, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, every win, if he's going to get to 300, man, if he's going out there and giving you more than a quality start, he gives you 7 innings, 1 run, and you can't get a victory to get to 261. You know, he's 41 years of age, so I would say the betting odds right now are still really against him picking up 40 more wins at the age of 41. Yeah, I would tend to.
That's why pitching wins nowadays. People don't even really use it as a stat, just because of stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, you go 7 innings and give up 1 run, and you don't win the game. Does that mean that you didn't have a good game? No, of course not.
No, and listen, I understand that, especially in baseball, these new numbers mean more. Okay. But I also respect the traditional numbers.
I agree. Average homers, wins.
300 wins is enormous. 3,000 hits, enormous. 500 home runs, enormous.
Yeah, no getting away from those ones.
And, you know, Verlander earned a win, but he didn't get it. And, you know, if Houston did win today, I would have thought Houston would be right back in the thick of it. They've really struggled. But you got to wonder now if they don't turn things up here a little bit, you know, is Justin Verlander going to be peddled to a playoff, a bona fide deep into the playoffs type of team before the trade deadline? If that's the case, that could certainly help him, you know, playing for a better team. But
I love that.
Yeah.
I would love Justin Verlander second half of the season for the Braves. That'd be sick.
To rent him? He's got to be making $1 million a start, you know, but Atlanta can afford that. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. Late in the hour, we'll go to Las Vegas. We'll check in with Rafael Esparza. I'm going to get to some of your thoughts on the text line after our conversation with Dave Campbell. Getting quite a few compliments on Dave. Yeah, that's why we bring him on. You know, we bring guests on because we think that they do a real good job and add to the show. Hey, the walk-off charities. Take a look at the latest bids. I'm still at $900. You only got a couple of days left to do this. So my course we're going to play out at the course that's been selected for me is the Ponte Vedra Ocean course. So look forward to getting out there. 3 of you, I appreciate the 900 beans that it's going to charity. All right, right now the leader in the clubhouse, I believe, is $1,100 for Cowart and Frangie. And I'm at $900. I think Mia's at maybe a grand, and I want to say Hicken and Prosser or below me at this particular time. But you've got a few days left. If you're interested in what will be a fun round of golf and raising money for charity for our youth to play baseball right here in Duval, go to walkoffcharities.com and get all of the information there. We got a packed hour number 2. It's coming up right after this.
Professional radio broadcasters.
Hey, sorry.
Dinner dozen gifts. A diner dozen.
That is awful.
So Cole.
I was flowing real good, then wasn't I?
You've got to be kidding me.
Professional, for crying out loud.
Who wrote this?
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Discover luxury on your terms at Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville. Drive away today in style.
Boasting North Florida's largest selection of Cadillacs, we have your dream car waiting.
Experience the future with Cadillac Lyric, redefining luxury electric vehicles at the starting price of $44,988.
With over 50 to choose from, and this exclusive offer, the luxury of a Cadillac is more attainable than ever.
And rest assured, every Cadillac is backed by our dedication to outstanding customer service.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, plus tax tag title $8.99 admin fee and resistance.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
How nice would it be not to worry about your AC unit for 10 years? What? Vaughn's Heating and Air, standing by their units for 10 years. Imagine not having to think about your AC unit for a decade. Vaughn's 10-year warranty covers the parts, labor, and refrigerant. Basically everything. No fictional problems that will cost thousands. This is legit. An AC unit with no repair costs. Wouldn't that be nice? So remember, if your AC unit won't turn on, just call Vaughn's. That's Vaughn's Heating and Air.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I have some exciting news from Leonard Truck Accessories and Trailers in Jacksonville. A brand new location on Beach Boulevard will be opening soon. Stop by the grand opening on Friday, June 28th, and put your name in for a chance to win a brand new loaded golf cart. Leonard Truck Accessories, your truck, your style.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See lowes.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See lowes.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
For any urological concerns, let Ackerman Urology be your trusted partner in men's health. With offices from Amelia Island to World Golf Village, they treat bladder conditions, elevated PSAs, and ED. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Let's go! And happy Halloween in June. Come cheer your Jacksonville Sharks on to victory as they fight against the Arizona Rattlers this Saturday, June 1st, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find any Saturdays with more family affordable fun. It's for everyone. Dig out your best costumes for Halloween night. It's always one of the faves. Whoever has the best costume will go home with a prize. Venture into the Scare Zone, featuring 13th Floor Haunted House. And join us postgame on the field for an autograph session. Don't miss the game. This Saturday, June 1st, it's Halloween in June at the Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. Get ready for Fright Night. Let's go.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Announced earlier today, November 9th, NBC, 7:30 at night, Florida State at Notre Dame. I mean, if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. A night game in South Bend. I want to say Notre Dame was like one of the last, true blue bloods to add lights, right? I remember it was a big deal when Wrigley Field added lights. It's almost laughable now because not everything, but so many of these big-time games in every sport are under the lights. That's going to be a cold evening, though, November 9th. A lot of football for Florida State before that game.
1982, first game under the lights for Notre Dame.
82.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Michigan, which we don't get that game anymore, of course.
We don't. And Florida State, Notre Dame. And Notre Dame usually plays 4 or 5 Atlantic Coast Conference teams every year. But, this is, again, a very good non-conference game. We're getting Florida Miami to open up the season, non-conference. We're getting Clemson, Georgia, where Georgia's like a 13.5-point favorite, and they're going to play that game at noon in Atlanta. But again, it's a good non-conference game.
We used to get that one every year.
Yeah. And there's all this talk about 8, maybe 9 conference games, and if we can get to a 16-team playoff, how are things going to change? What are they going to do with a conference championship game? It's a big money maker for these conferences, right? But what is the health going to be like for major non-conference games in college football? I would think with a playoff there and with the ability to lose a game, non-conference wise. Not crippling you towards a 16-team college football playoff, and I understand we're going to a 12 right now. I'm thinking down the road they're eventually going to get to a 16. Aren't we going to get better non-conference games? Or are athletic directors going to get with the president, get with the head coach, and say, no, let's cupcake city, because playing in these now mega conferences, particularly, as you're aware of, the SEC and the Big Ten, just about every week you're going to have a huge draw. Do you want to play big non-conference games? I read a story yesterday about how USC is trying to do whatever they can with Lincoln Riley to get out of playing LSU non-conference. Okay? And, USC is joining. Is USC really joining the Big Ten? Please tell me that that's not the case.
Like you're just dreaming. You'll wake up and it won't be real.
Am I the only one that
Pac-12 is officially closed?
I saw that with their baseball conference championship last week. I love the Pac-12. I love Pac-12 after dark. Does anyone like this? Does anyone like Oklahoma and Texas going to your SEC? I mean, honestly, do you like these schools going to the SEC? I'll tell you right now, I cannot stand the thought of Stanford and SMU going to the Atlantic Coast Conference is literally nauseating to me. And again, I've never been one to dumb down a product because it's my livelihood. I learned decades ago, no matter what is going on, it's important, This is what you do. There's never a slow time in sports. There's never a lack of things to talk about. Oh, you want to talk about SMU getting ready to take on Wake Forest in a big college? I mean, that's it. And where else would you rather be? SMU, Wake Forest. I'm having a real difficult time swallowing this. I just don't know. I get it. I understand the grand prize. It's money, right? And the entire college football landscape has changed. But I miss it. I miss the tradition of college football. That's the one thing that college football has always had, the tradition and the pageantry. It's arguably the only thing that's better than pro football. Pro football ratings-wise, pro football in every category dominates all of these other sports combined. But there's something about a Saturday on a college campus, the alumni, the student body, the band taking the field, and the tradition of college football. College football has better rivalries than the NFL. It's the only thing that they have that's better. You may say some stadiums are better, and I'd agree with that, okay? But great tradition. Again, we talk about this a couple of times a year. What's the best tradition right now in the NFL? What is it?
Roger Goodell line in the State of the Union every year.
I mean, what is it? Is it Bears? Is it Bears Packers?
Yeah, or like Giants Eagles, or
come on.
I don't know.
It's the only thing that the NFL does not have over college football. You just mentioned under the lights in 1982, Notre Dame, Michigan. I mean, that's a staple, and it's gone. It's gone.
Oklahoma and Nebraska.
Gone.
You know what they did today? I mean, they didn't get rid of the game, but it did something to sort of like, it made me feel weird, is they moved the Texas-Oklahoma game to 3:30. Like, it's been noon my entire life.
Yep.
Probably decades and decades and decades before that. Why? Like, I know why. TV, SEC, all that crap, but, like, we're just killing tradition slowly but surely. It just won't be the same anymore. There will be a day when Ohio State, Michigan will be a night game. Guaranteed. That's coming.
Money is more important than tradition. And you got to get two here. You got to get both athletic directors. You got to get both head coaches. And I don't even know how much say they have. I mean,
the coach probably none.
Yeah, I mean, look at you talk about Michigan, Notre Dame. I mean, you're talking about year 2 with Freeman, and you got and Moore, Sherrone Moore, brand new. Hey, I mean, what influence are they going to give? Where they've never combined, they've coached one game against one another, right? That was last year. One game for Freeman, as we know, Sherrone Moore, it was Jim Harbaugh's team. And as a matter of fact, they didn't even play last year. What am I saying? That rivalry is gone. Yeah, and that's the shame of it. You know, it doesn't matter who's in the uniform. The fans are going to be there, right? And I understand the argument yearly with Florida and Miami. I actually get that, believe it or not. Okay? You can call me a hard-headed Seminole grad. That's fine. I understand why Miami and Florida don't want to play each other every year, okay, because of the schedules that they already have. And, you know, there's been talk before that Florida State could end, right?
Didn't the governor get involved?
Yeah.
And was like, as long as I'm here, we have a law where they have to play every year. I would love for that to be Miami, Florida as well.
But that's the only one.
But it's not a state school,
right?
Obviously.
I mean, you got Clemson, South Carolina. That's not the same thing.
No, but that's that's big there.
Oh, it is. It's not the big thing nationally, but we no longer have Texas A&M.
Which, are we getting that back now? That they're in the SEC?
I don't know if they're going to play yearly, you know, because it's no longer divisions. I don't know if they're going to play every 2 years, every 4 years. I honestly haven't done homework on that because it's so irritable.
Right, and it changes all the freaking time.
To me. But we don't get that series anymore, right? And
so we're getting it this year for the first time in 13 years.
Texas Tech saying they play for the first time in 13 years.
So sad.
It's unfathomable. Penn State Pitt. Okay? That should be a yearly matchup. Penn State Pittsburgh. We don't have it. I don't even think we're going to have Oregon State anymore. Washington State anymore. The Civil War and the Apple Cup, respectively. I guess we'll still have USC, UCLA. I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the schedules yet. But that is disappointing. So, as we move forward, I think there'll be some aggressive schools that'll say, we think we're the best in the nation. We recruit better than anyone. Bring them on. Let's get back to some of these rivalries.
How about West Virginia Pitt?
Yeah.
They went 10 years without playing, 2011 and 2012.
How can you not play that game?
2022.
How can you not play that game? Those are two schools who will never play for a national title.
I was about to say, they have nothing to play for every year except that game. Like, what the heck?
It's never going to happen for those two schools. Those days are over. You know, Tony Dorsett, Dan Marino, Hugh Green, they're not walking through your door. Pitt's produced some phenomenal talent. Bill Fralick, Larry Fitzgerald, goes on and on and on. But days of winning national titles, it's over. West Virginia, they're not going to win a national title. You know, we know who your national title contenders are. It's so simple in college football. Now, I actually think this is a pretty bizarre year, especially with, transfer portal quarterbacks like Riley Leonard going to Notre Dame and just how different it is going to be. But come on. The Atlantic Coast Conference, Florida State and Clemson. Miami hasn't won a national title in what now? 21 years?
Yeah, 2001.
23 years. It would be foolish for me to say they can never get back. Okay? I'm not a fan of using the word never. Miami is surprised with a lot of money that they have produced. But I think it's years away. That is it in that conference. Don't waste my time and try to Georgia Tech me or North Carolina State me or tell me that Louisville had a great transfer portal class me or tell me that, Syracuse is going to catch lightning. No. There you have it. You got 3 schools. You get to the Big 12, they're done. Your two title contending schools are in the SEC. Are you going to waste our time and tell me that Iowa State is going to circle the wagons? That Kansas State is returning a bunch of players? That, this is finally the year that Oklahoma State, we hear that every year about Oklahoma State. They'll start 7-0. They'll start 6-1, right? And then they'll lose 2 out of their last 3 or 3 out of their last 4 and end up with a 10-4 record or a 9-5 record. That's what you're going to get. Don't talk to me about the Horny Frogs or about Houston. No, they're not going to win national titles. Cincinnati, every once in a while, they'll have a good year. The Big Ten. The Big Ten right now, before the additions, is basically a 2-team conference. It's Michigan and Ohio State. When's the last time Penn State has really been relevant? When is the last time Michigan State has really been relevant? I'm not talking about double-digit win seasons. I'm talking about national championship contenders. When's the last time that Nebraska, that's a blue blood, but they were 5-7 last year? So that's the sample size. Notre Dame is an independent. Well, okay. You know the last time Notre Dame won a national title? 1988.
Lou Holtz, right?
1988. The SEC is a different world. Georgia and Florida, yes. Tennessee, come on. Stop it. It's Tennessee. Tennessee will lose to Florida this year. Tennessee will get all this hype. Does anyone make more in-game colossal mistakes traditionally than Tennessee? Not going to happen. Don't Mississippi me. Don't Texas A&M me.
You're getting a lot of Ole Miss this offseason. I'm hearing a lot of Ole Miss as somebody to watch out for.
Stop it. Oklahoma and Texas coming to them, okay. But traditionally, in the SEC, you have Georgia, you have Florida. Florida's nowhere close to it now. But what if they blow up Billy Napier? What if they add Lane Kiffin next year? It's a matter of time. Florida's going to come back. The roots are in place. The NIL situation needs to get better, and I think it will. And, of course, you got Bama and you got Auburn, you got LSU. But that's it. So there's your pool. One of those schools is going to win the national championship. You're not going to have anyone secretly sneak up. And with a 12-team college football playoff, that opportunity to be in it is there. They're just going to lose. Let's take a look at Mississippi's schedule before our break. Furman, Middle Tennessee State at Wake, Georgia Southern. So that's 4 straight wins.
Okay. Maybe that's why people are hyping them so much.
Well, let's get to this. Kentucky. Kentucky's a battler. At South Carolina, then at LSU.
Yeah, but if Kentucky and South Carolina are the 2 teams from the East you have to play, you did pretty good.
Let's see. They got Florida on here, too.
There you go.
It's they go – you have those 4 non-conference games, and then they have 8 straight conference games. You host Kentucky back-to-back weeks in Columbia and Baton Rouge.
Ooh, that one at LSU.
Yep. And then you get a bye week before hosting Oklahoma. Then you go to Fayetteville. All right?
When?
On November 2nd. You host Georgia.
Oh, they play Georgia.
You get it.
There's no East and West.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, those days are gone. Another bye week. You go to Florida on November 23rd, and then you wrap up the year with the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State. So the naked eye tells me Kentucky and South Carolina, I could see them losing one of those 2. I could absolutely see them losing against LSU and Oklahoma. Yeah. Absolutely see them losing against Georgia. Okay? And at Florida, late in the year, we have no idea what to make of this Florida team right now.
They could be good with a bad record.
So, yeah, I mean, the bottom line here is I haven't bet in 10.5 years, but if you want to bet anyone listening that Mississippi's going to win a national title, I'll tell you right now, I'll hold your book. Okay? I'll take that bet. That's not going to happen for Mississippi. It's just not. All right, much more to do, including your reaction. Let's get to some of yours on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Through thick and thin,
I love my Jaguars.
your home for Jaguars football
Forever and ever and ever.
is 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey Jaguar fans, I'm Donovan Darius, former 10-year NFL All-Pro Jacksonville Jaguar safety. I'm hosting my 8th annual youth football tackling technique camps all throughout Jacksonville. With over 50 skills and drills, these young athletes will learn everything it takes from me and my coaches to be effective on and off the field. This camp is for kids ages 7 to 14 for June 18th, June 20th, and June 24th. To sign up your kid, go to DariusNextLevelTraining.com. DariusNextLevelTraining.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Pull up a chair at the table for some Saturday afternoon sports talk with Compton and Company.
So you want to talk about this or what?
Join Compton and Company noon to 2 Saturdays for more conversation about the teams you care about most.
I have questions. I need answers.
On 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here, and I want to tell you about Beach's Dermatology. And my doctor, Dr. Metz. I've been going to Dr. Metz for, gosh, I don't know how many years, decades. I got the scars to prove it. Listen, Jets, I love the beach. I love to play golf. I love Florida. I love to go to my kids' games in the hot sun all weekend long. Summer is basically here, and the sun will be shining. Don't forget your sunscreen. Trust me on this. You need to go get checked out today. It's more important than you think. Give Beach's Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Hey, Hicken here for Zero Res. Like many of you, I love living in Jacksonville, where we have so many families who serve or have served in the military. I'm so grateful for their sacrifice to keep us safe. If you have a family member who is on active duty or is a veteran, now is the time to call Zero Res. Because right now you get a 25% military discount on everything they clean. A thank you for your service. That's 25% off carpet cleaning, tile and grout upholstery, or Oriental rugs. Zero Res, man, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Let's go! And happy Halloween in June. Come cheer your Jacksonville Sharks on to victory as they fight against the Arizona Rattlers this Saturday, June 1st, 7 o'clock at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. With tickets as low as $15, you're not going to find any Saturdays with more family affordable fun. It's for everyone. Dig out your best costumes for Halloween night. It's always one of the faves. Whoever has the best costume will go home with a prize. Venture into the Scare Zone, featuring 13th Floor Haunted House. And join us postgame on the field for an autograph session. Don't miss the game. This Saturday, June 1st, it's Halloween in June at the Veterans Memorial Arena. Be a part of indoor football fun and exciting, non-stop action. For tickets as low as $15, call 904-621-0700. Get ready for Fright Night. Let's go.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, getting a lot of reaction on cigar as we began the show talking about weed, the weed on a plane. And the 7811 says, I'm such a softie. He's gone on to refer to me several different terms describing female anatomy, which I'm not going to say here on the program. He also uses the Lord's name in vain, drops an F-bomb. Keep drinking and smoking. The 7811 is upset with me.
Aggressive.
I'm going to get over it. I am. 6793 says Leon Cersei could hook you up. I've smoked Leon Cersei's cigars. Takes about 2 hours to smoke one of those bad boys.
I think he has the mini Circe now.
He does, and they're good.
For the
they're
more...
bold though. I don't.
Are they?
Yeah, I don't. For me, barbecue or the beach, yes. On the golf course, no. I'm looking for a mild cigar on the golf course. I've been smoking the Olivas. I like them. Very good, very tasty. 4671 says the Padron 1964s. Okay, absolutely love Padron, but don't know if I've had that particular brand. The 3823, the CAO Brasilia. Sheer and utter perfection. Not too expensive, and not too long of a burn. Okay. Appreciate the tip there. A little bit self-serving, but you know, you're such a great audience that every once in a while, I'm going to ask you these type of things. Getting I think a couple of folks may be trying to fool me here.
No, our texters never.
Okay, I don't know. Some acid cigars. Not really an acid cigar guy.
What does that mean?
Yeah, they're tasty. They got all sorts of different flavors.
Oh, that's a brand name.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy said an acid coffee cigar. 8535 Rick, mild and medium, Padron being the smoother of the two. Mild, you can get the lighter Connecticut wrapper with the AVO Classic. Cohiba, Connecticut. Yeah, Cohiba to me is always a stronger cigar. So, appreciate all that. A lot of good stuff rolling in. People fired up about the choice of cigars. But for those of you who don't smoke cigars, I do think you're missing out. I do. Getting a lot of Trump stuff. You're not going to suck me in on that. Not here. I will ask Rafael Esparza, by the way, though, in 10 minutes, what's going to happen with the odds. As for those of you who are new to it, betting on your next president is enormous nowadays. And every once in a while, we get the latest on Trump and Biden. So that's coming up in about 10 minutes when we go out to Las Vegas with today's announcement. Robert De Niro, getting all this De Niro stuff. Everyone's got an opinion.
De Niro definitely has opinions.
Here's the way that I look at it, and I'm blessed. Okay, yeah, since I've been here, the Obama, the Trump, the Biden administration, been wonderful. I have 2 jobs. I'm a host. I'm also a full-time into sales. I have my preference. I have my say, and I vote. But it's been good for me throughout. That's what the question should be for you. Are you doing as well now as you were 4 years ago? If so, great. Are you going to be doing better in 4 years than you are now? I hope so. And that's what I want all of you to do. I want you to do well. I mean, again, we talked about this earlier in the week with all the hatred that came out with Grayson Murray, right? And as soon as it was announced that he was gone, and before we knew it was suicide, if you read the comments, there were people that well, he took the jab, he's dead. And people are happy about it. I understand that there's so much hatred. And believe it or not, because I think when you hear my sports opinions, you may think that I'm a frustrated guy and that there's a lot of angst in me. That's wrong. This is sports, and it's a diversion. I don't want anyone to suffer. So it's been good for me. I know you didn't ask, but I'm just telling you, regardless of the administration, I want it to be good for you. I don't want to see you suffer. I don't want to see you live paycheck to paycheck. I want it to be. So, again, we got people pounding the table and this and that. I mean, we're supposed to be neighborly. We're supposed to be friendly here. I just don't get that. Never been able to get that. Why people love when others suffer or are struggling. You can count them on one hand for me in 32 plus years in this business. Some of this stuff is good though. Very talented listening audience. 3493 Perdomo, a 12-year bourbon barrel aged. A Fuente. Love
bourbon
Fuentes.
barrel aged
cigar.
Cigar?
Yeah, oh yeah.
See, I'm just not in that world at all.
Yeah. Fuente, very good. The Cuban Bellicoso, I believe. Don't know. The whole Cuban cigar is, they really are good. But I think there's such a fascination about them, and the fact that
overrates them, overhyped.
Yeah, we still won't do business with them, and they become. It's like everything else in the world. They become a want because you're not allowed to have them.
Right.
They are good, though. They are. Every once in a while, I have a knucklehead buddy that brings them back. We talked about smuggling weed back, smoking weed on a plane. I remember the last time I was in Costa Rica, I brought back a dozen Cubans, and I had to take the wrappers off. And ship them, not carry them on, ship them.
Oh, ship them back.
I'm like, again, I just never going to tell authorities what they should do and what they shouldn't do. But aren't there more important things that we need to take care of right now than some guy or gal trying to sneak back a dozen Cuban cigars?
For him and his buddies golfing.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, you broke the law. It's amazing. Deadwood. That's I thought that was a show. I don't know anything about a cigar there.
It was an HBO show.
7776, a Fat Bottom Betty.
I like the sound of that.
Crazy Alice or Sweet Jane from Deadwood Cigar Company. I never watched Deadwood. 6706 with a little bit of advice here. Rick, enjoy your life and do what makes you happy. The time smoking takes off your life isn't the good fun years. It's the
we're talking about smoking cigars, man.
Yeah.
Not, like, smoking a cigar a few times a week is not going to kill you, dude. Come on. He's not smoking a pack of cigs a day. Have some fun. Lighten up, bro.
Maybe I'll start. I heard it's a good habit.
I love cigarettes. That's why I had to stop. I mean, I was
listen,
literally obsessed.
I talk about this often. I lost a dear friend, Doug Zani, who was the assistant super forever at Pablo Creek. Then he had about an 8-month run at Palencia, and then was involved in the reconstruction and rebuilding of the wonderful new course, Atlantic Beach, which is, all three of those courses are just awesome. Never talk bad about a golf course. I just won't do it. Well, he passed, and it's been about 4 years now, from chewing tobacco, man.
Yeah, they say
chewing tobacco.
That's like the safer alternative to smoking cigarettes, but still, yeah, bad for you.
Bro, it was so hard for me to give up. And I just haven't done it. There's been like maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 4 years where I've cheated. But it's the drive home after work, okay? I loved it. And after a big meal, especially a spicy meal, there's nothing better than throwing in a large dip. Just get the protruding bottom lip.
I feel the same about a cigarette. Right after a meal, first thing in the morning, that driving, stuck in traffic. Still to this day, I mean, I've quit for like 4 years at this point, but I see a guy in traffic next to me, and he has a cigarette, and I'm just like, he's really enjoying himself right now. I envy that. I don't envy what comes after that. I lost both my grandparents, but
from smoking?
Yeah, but it's just so badass. It's cool, but it's so bad for
Never
you.
got into cigarettes. At college parties, whatever, I took a...
Yeah.
I tell you what, a hit out of a cigarette, and these girls would smoke those Marlboro Light 100,000s. I tell you what, Gene Deckerhoff is the greatest cigarette smoker I've ever seen. I've seen that guy whale a cigarette in like 3 drags.
He sounds like he's done that a few times.
During like halftime of a basketball game back at the old Leon County Civic Center. But, yeah, the tobacco, I haven't gambled in 10 and a half years. It hadn't been an issue. I played golf with a buddy, kind of a newer friend that I met through some other contacts, and I've been playing quite a bit of golf with him, and he literally looks at me over the weekend. We were talking about smoking marijuana, and I'm like, no, I don't want any marijuana. It's 100 degrees out. I'm playing golf. And he's like, yeah, well, I know you're straight laced and all of this, and I just laugh. I said, well, I love to drink, and he goes, well, honestly, I'm surprised that you're drinking. I thought you were a recovering alcoholic.
Oh my God! Obviously, you guys haven't known each other for very long.
That's what I'm saying. He's kind of a new, kind of a guy, just really good guy.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, man, I've been called everything there is to be called. I've never been called a recovering alcoholic. I'm like, no.
Maybe he's just an alcoholic.
I like to think I drank moderately. Yeah. All right, so a ton of this stuff coming in with cigars, and again, always appreciate you, the listener. I'm going to write many of these down and try some on the golf course. Coming up next, we go live to Las Vegas. Let's check in with our good buddy from MyBookie. He is Rafael Esparza.
Get heart-pounding asphalt round in NASCAR.
Drag race!
Sunday at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 on your NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Ballou here for Spunez Vision. Why Spunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Spunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Spunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Spunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SpunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
All right, get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout presented by Yellowfin is coming soon to St. Augustine. It's June 8th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com. You can find out more. The grand prize is a yellowfin bay boat. And with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. That's why it's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what is going to a terrific event. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. Go to oldschoolkingfish.com.
Save money while beautifying your home with energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors from Renewal by Andersen. Their exclusive Fibrex product is chic, tough, easy to maintain, and twice as strong as vinyl. And right now, buy 2 windows or patio doors and get the third at 60% off. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year, but restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for more details.
License number CGC 1527613.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get recruiting tips and advice from area coaches, pros, athletes, and their parents.
So you gotta up your game.
Plus, better ways to train as B3 Better brings you the Amateur's Edge Show. Saturday from 11 to noon on 1010XL.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, an avocado consultant from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Dave Ortega. Okay, Dave, here's your question. Your house is not bad in the morning, but by the afternoon, your AC can barely keep up, even with the curtains closed. What do you do?
Can I buy a valve?
Not that kind of show, Dave.
Can I spin the wheel?
Yeah, we don't even have a wheel, Dave.
Can I phone a friend? Can I call Bueller?
That's right, Dave. Call Bueller Air and Plumbing to assess your home's airflow and sunlight patterns, and let us optimize your air conditioning so that you are cool.
This is the happiest day of my life.
Well, you gotta get out more, Dave.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab Crab House.
Hacker here with an update. I'm now down 65 pounds in less than 3 months with Awaken 180. It's been incredible. You've seen it on social media. If not, take a look. I'm the guy with 65 less pounds around his midsection. Since I started, I had to get lower dose medication for both blood pressure and cholesterol. That meant a trip to the pharmacy. When I walked in, the pharmacist did a double take, the same way my doctor did. Didn't even recognize me. It's a pretty cool feeling, knowing I'm transforming into the new me. If I can do Awaken 180 and succeed, trust me, so can you. Imagine dropping pounds while still enjoying your favorite foods. With Awaken 180, you get to lose weight without giving up what you love. Are you ready to make the call to Awaken 180? Call right now, 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800. Or do what I did and check them out at awaken180weightloss.com. Start changing your life today with Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Las Vegas is where we head. Rafael Esparza, our weekly guest from MyBookie, mybookie.org. Hello, Rafael.
How are you doing this lovely Thursday evening?
Everything's good. Fired up for some NHL. Big Game 5 ongoing, obviously. Or is it underway yet? Or are they dropping the puck here in just a couple of minutes?
They're dropping it pretty soon.
Yeah, at 8 o'clock. So that's good. And, of course, an NBA game tonight as well. Big game there. All right. Betting on the next president. This is something that has grown over the recent years, and I've asked you about it before. After today's announcement, guilty on all 34 charges, what has gone on at the window over the last couple of hours?
That happened today? I didn't hear anything about that. No, I'll be working on more stuff today as it goes on with jail time and what's going to happen, appeal, blah 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 blah. But I mean, he was Donald Trump was a favorite about minus 165. I even saw minus 180 at some shops. As of right now, he's now minus 120. So a lot of money has now flipped sides. I think money has not really come in as much. We've had some Biden money come in, but I just think now it's going to a little bit flip script now. I think Biden's going to probably jump in some polls right now. I don't think the voters are going to change as much. I think people already had their mindset on who they were voting. I just think the people who didn't know may not even vote, or maybe even vote for third party, or will just stay at home. So I think it hurts a little bit of the Republican side, but I think the people who are going to vote for Trump, no matter what, that their mind did not change today.
All right, what are you going to do as far as props here? You said jail time, the appeal process. What else are you going to put out there?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been trying to write down stuff what I'm going to do as of right now. I'll probably put his Trump's favorability, the poll that they always do. I think that poll comes out July 1st, so I'll probably do percentage on that, 40%, under 39. It's probably going to be in between that one. Will he do jail time, stuff like that? I'll probably do more debate odds for the first debate. I had those out now, but I'll probably add some more. Will anyone call him convicted criminal during the debate? Which, if you're Joe Biden, how do you not say that? I would say that every time I'm talking to Trump, just to remind the viewers. But yeah, it's gonna make my life. I was hoping at least I would have the weekend. I thought it was gonna be next week they would announce it, so I thought maybe I can have a nice quiet weekend, get in charge of UFC 302, some great boxing, NHL, but they had to figure it out today, and it just ruined my weekend.
All right, so how will this, as far as the money that you expect to come in, does this dwarf everything else outside of a normal Sunday in the NFL?
Oh, this would be probably 4 or 5 times much more than a normal NFL Sunday. This is probably, I mean, if we're going to look at our last election, it was probably almost 2 to 3 times Super Bowls, just a dollar amount. coming in.
How long has this gone on? How long have you been able to bet on the next president?
I've been able to. When I was working in Vegas, I heard about it because offshores were still around, but not popularity as it was year after year, like in the middle 90s. So I would probably say I got really, really into it probably like the 2000s, and ever since then it's been like that. Now it's not like it is now where you can do Senate races and a whole bunch of electoral colleges, percentages on who's going to win and stuff like that. That's brand new. That's probably maybe 8 years, and every year I just add more governor races. I've done mayor races in separate states, so it just grows and grows. That's why I don't understand why the U.S. doesn't accept this, because it's such a big cash cow. And I tell people I don't look at polls anymore. I look at dollar, because if I'm going to say, I think this is who's going to win in president, okay, well, you can put your money on who's going to win in president. That's two totally different things.
So this will be the most bet on event ever, more than any big prize fight, more than a Super Bowl?
Yes, it won't even be close. I can guarantee you probably today alone with what happened 34-0, sounds like a football score in a Mountain West, I would say that probably outdid, just today alone, probably outdid NFL Week 1.
Man, I did not know that. I appreciate the tip. All right, hey, we're out of time. Give us the very latest at mybookie.org.
Big weekend, UFC 302 boxing all weekend long. It's a great, fantastic time to jump over at MyBookie. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, NBA finals coming to baseball. It's a fun time right now. Jump over at MyBookie and sign up now, win now.
Rafael Esparza, thank you as always.
Take it easy. A fantastic evening.
There he goes. I didn't know that. I thought that money would be involved, but I didn't know that it would dwarf the Super Bowl. Upcoming presidential election. Wow. Big game coming up in just a couple of moments. Panthers and Rangers. Florida favored on the road here, minus 130 against New York. Game 5 there. That series obviously locked at 2 apiece. And the NBA begins in about 45 minutes. Dallas in Minnesota. The Timberwolves try to stay alive. They're down 3-1 in the best of 7. Thank you to Rafael Esparza and Dave Campbell. Thank you to you. For JJ LaSalva, my name is Rick Ballou. Hackers next. We'll talk tomorrow at 6.